Testing. Testing 1, 2, we're live, I think. We're trying to see if this sounds okay. Syria is testing it. Testes 1, 2, testes 1, 2, 1, 2, because we like doing it outside, but we have to compete with our very cool AC unit over there. So we're never quite sure how it sounds. Uh, uh, uh. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Syria says she can hear me. Well, I guess we'll be starting here momentarily. Wow. Alan says he cannot hear us. Blah 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 blah. Can you hear me? How's it sound now? Volume check, volume check, volume check, volume check. Alain? Can you hear me? Do you care? We have no idea what we're doing today. Just barely, he says.
No, come in here and try. I'll go out there and see if you can hear my phone.
Okay, we're still testing.
Oh, yeah. Because I can hear you.
All right, well, you keep talking, baby.
Do you have the volume on your computer up?
Well, no, it doesn't matter.
We'll go check.
The volume is up on the computer. Okay. Get back.
Sean sucks. Sean sucks. Sean smells. Sean smells. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Sean super sucks. Can you hear that? Sean smells and picks his.
I can hear you just fine, baby. I heard every freaking word you said.
That's good. Well, where'd you leave my phone?
Oh.
Echo. You see what I put up with?
You gotta turn the volume down or there'll be feedback. You gotta turn your phone down.
I will turn my phone down. But then it's multiple people that said we can and can't hear. So I don't. It has to do with this. It doesn't have to do with us, the sounds. I heard you just fine. That is not safe. Please do not do that. Smokey Bear is not the only one that can stop fire, Sean. See, what if we bring this closer?
La 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 la
and
la.
bring this closer.
Well, that doesn't matter where the computer is. It just matters.
Okay, well then what if we bring this closer?
There you go.
I mean, it just shows I have a triple chin, but I'll just hold it like that.
And you can see the hairs hanging out my nose because I'm getting old and I got nose hairs.
At least we have closed captions. That's good. Neither one of us can read them without our glasses, so we're still screwed.
Well,
No,
hello.
if I had plastic surgery, that's what it would look like.
Look into the camera. That's how they can see you're looking at them.
What?
When you look right into the camera, then it's like we're
Oh,
looking right
I
into
got
their
you.
souls.
I got you. Look, if I had plastic surgery, that's what I would look like. Botox.
So we had an interesting weekend thus far.
Oh yeah. So I know y'all are so enthralled in what we do this week, but it really was an interesting week.
Exciting lives.
Can y'all? What if I get closer? Let's see. We'll figure this out.
Yeah. It
I
sounds
know-
fine on the phone.
It did. It sounded fine on my phone. Anyway, Thank you all for joining us again. We had a very interesting. Oh, you said for me to look at the camera, right? Not my
Or
phone.
if you want, yeah, that's when
And
you're talking.
it's too much for me to focus on, so I will look at the camera. But then you can see my chin. I'm just gonna hold it.
Oh my
like this.
God.
Okay. So we had a rather interesting week. I just have to say that I finally finished this semester of my school. I did a 5 week, I did a flex. So I take 5 classes and I split it up to where 3 of my classes are in the first half of a semester and the last 2 are the second semester or vice versa. But I take 4 to 5 classes each semester. And I made the very unintelligent decision to one, procrastinate the math that I need that is pretty much keeping me from one of my degrees. And secondly, I did it in a 5 week flex, which someone who is not a fan of math, that was not the smartest thing that I could do. But anyhow, I sacrificed Bingo Friday for 3 4 weeks. I freaking missed Christmas in July.
You did on Hallmark. You
I
missed it.
I look forward to Hallmark movies. That is
You didn't
my relax. I missed Hallmark in July.
because of the math homework.
Yes, because of my math homework. Somebody says to bring it closer, so we're going to bring it closer. Come closer, closer, closer. So I sacrificed. Well, we sacrificed. What are you, Joe Biden? Freaking sniffing my hair, you psycho! The hell is wrong with you?
Pray, do continue.
Weirdo. So yes, sacrificing bingo with my cousin that we enjoy doing. It's one of the funnest things and funnest ways to lose money is to play bingo. I missed Christmas in July on Hallmark, not one Christmas movie. So if anyone wants to update me on the good ones to try to look for, please do. But last week was a week from hell because it was my last week of math. I had already finished my other classes so I could focus on math, and I had taken days off so I could get caught up on my math homework because, again, not smart, did it on a 5 week flex. And last week was my final week, so I had final exams, which were 2 to 3 hours for each exam. Getting home at close to 6 o'clock to work on a math exam was not my cup of tea. So I waited until Friday to do my last 2 exams, which would have taken 5 hours combined, 6 hours combined. Hallmark and Big, yes, 100%. So I took Friday off, and from the time I got up in the morning, because I was listening to this guy in the morning, I started my studying and I started my reviewing for my exams around 10 o'clock. I started my exams at about 2 o'clock, and I finished everything at 9, like close to 9:30, right? Because then I redid one of my tests.
Well, you were doing that, and Alicia was also doing the same class.
Yes, my daughter and I both procrastinated this
So
class.
basically, I get home and the house is silent, and I spend the next I don't
7
know,
hours.
7 hours herding cats. Just I had to keep because the cats will go in the hallway and so I'd spent the whole evening, afternoon and evening corralling cats to keep them out of from making noise, and that was a struggle until I discovered this most simplest solution was we had one of those little laser sights, and so I was able to use the laser sight to kind of get them to go where I want them. But it was all day. It was all day to 9:30.
But here's
You got through it.
I did, but there was also another challenge to this because I was very fortunate that I was asked to participate in a training at work. It was me and three other individuals that were picked to do this specific training.
Specific training.
This specific training that was 4 hours a day. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, from 12 to 4, I was in this training, and I said I would do it from home with limited distractions because in the office, having the camera and the microphone on the whole time would have been very challenging. So not only did Sean herd cats on Friday all day from the time he got home pretty much until about 9:30. Well, Alicia was done at like midnight. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from the hours of 12 and 4. It was a combined effort to keep the cats from crying at my door because when I'm home and they don't have access to me, it's the end of the world.
They freak out, man. Freak out.
I have one cat, Jarvis, who will literally put his paw under the door and bang on the door so the door is now banging like if somebody's trying to break in. And then I have them crying at the door and screaming as if someone's murdering them.
They sound like they're being stabbed.
Yeah.
Slowly.
And it's all because I'm in the room. So thank you, Sean, for herding cats for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and all day Friday. Final exam, I could not sleep. Saturday, we wound up going to Jim's with my mother because our beloved Jim's is closing on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
We're super sad about that because they'd already closed the one on Bandera and 410 that Sean had spilled. No, that was Mama Marge's.
That was Mama
That
Marge's.
Now that Jim's on Bandera and 410 was kind of special because Sean and I had already gone on like an official date because he had blown me off for several months. And I deleted his phone number, wasn't going to talk to him anymore, and then he's texting me, and I was like, okay, I'll give this guy a chance. I posted on Facebook, I was done, and he's blowing up my phone all night long. Was that about me? Please give me a chance, blah, 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 blah. So we went to a missions game, and we went to Jim's on 410 and Bandera, and Sean tried to steal a kiss. What was very awkward is that I was not expecting it, as when you steal a kiss, it's without the other person knowing or even giving permission.
Steal a kiss?
And he smacked me in the face with his mouth.
It was our first tongue kiss. It was our first tongue kiss because I was
so
like,
nasty.
It
was so gross. I turned around and he's like, bam, in my face, and I just see like, and I kind of like, whoa, this dude. Little much here.
And like, we went to a baseball game, man. It's time for something a little extra. Let's do something a little extra.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
I was not impressed. But anyhow, so that was.
You were not impressed.
No, you smacked me in the mouth. You had no coolness. I'm sorry.
I was being passionate, man.
No.
I thought
it
you
was
lacked
awkward.
passion.
No, it was
I
awkward.
thought you wanted me to be passionate.
No. So anyway, that gym's closed, and now the one on Bandera and 1604 is closing. So we went there yesterday, and my daughter and I, well, my daughter is kind of like, whatever grade I get, I get. I had convinced myself that if I have to be okay with a D because I am a nerd, admittedly. I'm a nerd. I very, very anal about my grade. I'm almost, would you say...
You said anal.
I did say anal. What is the word? When someone is like so obsessed.
Obsessive works just fine. You're
okay.
You're very hard on yourself.
So I am. I've been in school since 2024, working on one associate's degree, and then I added another associate's degree. So this math class was was the completion of one of my associates, and now I'm working on the second one. So I'll be graduating in May officially with both of my degrees. But this one class, I was having to convince myself that a D is passing. And,
well, I kept telling you that.
And it...
A D is passing.
Oh, I don't like this because you can look up my nose. And so I have a 4.0 in my grade, in my class, in this degree. So I was really could not sleep because the thought that this grade was going to tank me. This class was going to tank me. I don't like people looking at my
They're
nose.
not looking up your nose, baby. They're enthralled by what you're saying.
So
Nobody's looking up your nose. You're a superstar.
I had to convince myself and tell myself that it was okay if I just barely passed this class. And I was pretty neurotic about it. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't stress. I was getting tension headaches. I
She was
mean,
sometimes short with me, but I understand.
you were
It
annoying.
wasn't about me.
No, it was about you because you're annoying sometimes. But anyway, mind you, I sacrificed bingo on Fridays. We love bingo, and I sacrificed bingo.
It's our only social life.
Hallmark in July. Everyone knows I love Hallmark, and I sacrificed my Hallmark. So I was a little pissed that if I didn't get a good grade on this or even pass this class, all my sacrifice was for nothing. But my blood, my sweat, my tears, and my sacrifices paid off because I got an A!
You did.
Yes, I got an A. What do you mean you did? Oh,
Well,
come.
no. Well, no. I mean, you did. Like you didn't expect that.
No, I did not. I went to bed
You
thinking
got like
like
a 93.4%.
I don't know. It was a 93 something.
No, that was great.
So anyway, that was our week. This week, what do you got going on?
Well, nothing. Well, we were gonna shoot. I'm gonna be in another movie for Mr. Colin Bressler, and we're shooting.
I can't, James.
What's he saying?
To fix the camera.
Fix the camera angle, please.
We can't. The camera doesn't have a clip, so we have to have it kind of low so people can hear. Because Sean says that we can't suck this week. But unfortunately, this is the view that you get until. If anybody wants to help two very challenged people when it comes to doing this, Are you burping in my ear?
I did.
That's
burped
nasty.
I burped in your ear.
That's nasty.
Ugh.
Don't.
There was this kid I went to high school with, and he would always do that. He would burp, and then he'd go,
Well, I'm not the kid in high school. I'll kick your ass.
Bobby Phipps.
I'll punch you. So anyway, sorry,
Elder
James.
abuse.
What we're trying to figure out is how we can do this. He's bringing my Tupperware to work tomorrow. Ooh, gotcha. What Tupperware are you bringing?
Tupperware. Whatever Tupperware it is that we still have.
Do you know how much Tupperware we have?
I don't
It's
know
not even
how much
called Tupperware.
It's Tupperware.
It's HEB stuff. So, what does it have to do with anything, James? Just anyway, if anybody can figure out or explain to me how we can do this to where we're both on our own computers and not having you guys look up my nose, that would be really great.
So anyway, so I was supposed to do some shooting on Wednesday, but that got rescheduled. So I was going to take off Wednesday to shoot, but we're not doing that now. So I really have nothing except to keep working on my lines, and I was pretty, been working through them a lot. But I'm never like upset that I have more time to go for my lines.
There's a scene where he has to get beat up, and
Yeah.
I volunteered to beat him up so he can practice what it's like to get your ass kicked, and he told me no.
I'm basically I don't want to give any plot details, but I get beat up. I'm just getting beat up
I'm
the whole
offering
shoot.
to
I'm just
support
getting
you. I'm
my
offering,
ass kicked.
and I offered to support him by
And,
kicking his ass
like
so
I
he
could go
can
like method
respond.
acting. I'll go method, and like you actually beat me, so I know what it's like to feel like I've been physically abused.
I'll help you. I will help you.
But beyond that, no. I do want to mention that I have copies of my book. This is available now. It's a short book of poems on Amazon, and then this is the other one, Clowns and Outlaws. That's like a big best of, like greatest hits record.
I do have something.
What?
This is a question that I will not be offended. Look, we're losing listeners because we suck. This is a question that, you know how you do those things? Does that make me an asshole?
Yes.
Okay.
Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole? I'm bringing this out. I appreciate that my little housewife here comes home and washes dishes and cleans the litter boxes while I'm at work. I appreciate that on a rare occasion, no, not a rare occasion, on a not so often occasion, I still will he'll make dinner. But on numerous occasions, I will grab a pan or I'll grab a dish that he's washed and it's been put away and it's still dirty. So, I actually confessed to him today that I have rewashed dishes that he's already washed multiple times. He put a pan in the sink in the cabinet and put it as clean, and when I pulled it out, it had food still caked on it. I've pulled out bowls that still have like dry crust around them.
It gives you something to do, and it makes you feel as if you are still participating in the daily upkeep of the house.
So does it
I
make
do it intentionally
no? You does it
to involve you in the process.
does it make me the asshole to complain about the way the dishes are washed if they're not washed 100% and not being 100% appreciative that he's washed the dishes?
Well, if y'all don't like the way I wash the dishes, then you can fire me and just do it on your own.
I wind up doing it on my own anyway because I have to rewash the dishes. Anyway, so I'm just wondering, does anybody else have that issue, or does it make me seem like an ungrateful wife because I'm complaining that some of the dishes are still dirty after he washed them?
Sometimes I'm just rushing, and sometimes I'm just still half asleep from my nap. That's it. That's all I got. I got no other reasons why. My life is pretty dull during the week, man. I don't do much during the week.
And those of you who listen to Sean, we did have issues with his parking this afternoon.
We had what?
The parking, he does.
Parking?
Yes, you still suck at parking.
I have had to embrace that. I embrace that I suck at parking, and it's not everybody else just trying to, trying to park too close to me. If my ass is crooked in the parking space, and you got to get in there, well, you're probably going to have to park a little close to me. That's one of the 12 steps, is to embrace my fucked
The
upness.
parking space is like, where's the camera? This is the parking space. We got to figure out this camera because
That's the camera. You
I
do
can't.
it to the camera there.
Okay.
See, right there, baby. The camera is your lover. The camera is your best friend, baby. Your best friend and
Oh,
your
there it
lover.
is.
That's who the camera is.
Anyway.
Look at the camera like a lover, baby.
Ew. I was gonna say something, but I won't say it. Anyway, he I don't know if it's because he's left-handed, but when he parks way to one side. So his response is, I'm in the lane, but he's like way over in this lane, so there's a lot of extra space on this side. So whoever's parked on the driver's side has about this much space to get out of the car. And he wonders why they look at him dirty, and he doesn't know how to park. I don't know what to tell you. But
It's not my fault. I'm a victim.
of what? Being a dumbass?
My daddy didn't teach me how
Oh,
to park
my
right.
God.
My daddy didn't teach me how to park
Well,
right.
your daddy didn't teach you how to drive right either, because you get me car sick when you. He gets me car sick when he drives. Who else's spouse or partner gets them car
She
sick when they
hates the
drive?
way I drive. She absolutely hates
It's because most people, when you're driving, you put your foot on the gas and you kind of keep it at that steady space, You keep it at that steady pace, and then you kind of like let go of like not take your foot off the gas, but you kind of like release a little bit, and then you put it back on. And then when you're going to stop, you roll, gently put it on the pad and you slow down. What Sean does is he's driving and he just takes his foot off. So you're driving and you're like, and you're driving and you're, and
I
so.
don't know why. I've always driven that way.
Okay.
I don't know why.
So
I went to driver's ed school.
Well, they should have flunked your ass, because that's horrible. So he doesn't take his foot slightly off the gas. He takes it all the way. So you're like, and then he goes 10 miles under the speed limit. So everyone is passing us.
I maintain a safety zone.
No, and so I literally get nauseous driving with him. I literally get car sick driving with him. Does anybody else have that?
We had to go up to Ruthie's service, but it was out. Where was that?
It was in Stephenville, Texas, which was a beautiful drive.
Gorgeous drive.
But I was sick halfway through. We have to stop at the gas station for me to get something salty, so that if I get car sick, I have something salty that I can put in my mouth to keep me from salivating to vomit.
And I didn't want her to barf in my ride, and so we had to do that a lot. But she also got mad because the speed limit is like what?
The speed limit was 75 on
I can't go 75.
and we're going 60.
I feel like I'm gonna fly off the road going 75.
It's
It makes me
75.
tense.
We have cars driving. We had a car that looked like it was barely being held together, and Sean is driving slower than the car.
And like
75
I
mi-
like the fact that I know that my driving makes her tense, then makes me even more tense, and then like we're just tense, and it takes us forever. We'll never be one of those couples that hops into an RV and like rolls across the country.
unless
It
I'm
would be it would
driving.
be a nightmare.
Unless I'm driving. And now he's having trouble seeing at night. So we went somewhere, and I kept asking him on numerous occasions, "Are you able? Are you? Can you see? Okay, yeah, yeah, I'm fine, baby. I'm fine, baby." And he's like this. Now, some of you might know what white knuckle driving is. That's what he's doing. And so I'm looking at him like, "Are you sure you're okay to drive?" "I'm fine, baby. I'm
Like
fine."
like driving downtown at night freaks me out.
So
It never used to, but
we're
it does
driving,
now.
and I noticed that he's not driving okay. Well, most recently we went to Texas Star Inn to see our friend Randy perform, and we're leaving Bandera. We're leaving it. We turn on Bandera to go to Eckerd, and there's a bar that we used to go to called Steely Nevada's. It's an amazing bar if you want to go have a nice time. They have karaoke. They have a lot of cover bands. It's a cool environment.
Pickle shots.
Pickle shots. Oh my God, those are so delicious. Anyway, we're trying to turn into the parking lot, and there's a lane that you can obviously go to turn in, and he can't find the lane. So he's like
I couldn't
driving
find the
in and
lane.
out, in and
I couldn't
out.
find the lane,
You
man.
couldn't find your way
I couldn't find my way in.
in.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Anyway, so he's trying to get in the lane, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" Well, the cars are starting to come around us. And so he's like bopping in and out. And so cars are literally, I'm seeing my light flash before me because it's on my side. So he's like going in and out, and these cars are going around us. We almost got hit 3 times. Finally get in the driveway, and I'm like, "Can you freaking drive? Because you look like you're having trouble." He finally confesses when we're halfway down Bandera. "Yeah, I really couldn't see where the line was." So he has trouble seeing. He can't really see at night. He can't drive for shit. So I'm pretty much assuming that we're not going to go anywhere unless I drive.
That's all right with me if you
And
want to
I don't
drive.
like driving. I mean, I don't mind driving, but I like for my guy to drive me so that I can kind of sit there and chill. This could be related to his parking issues, James. I think whoever taught him how to drive, rest my father-in-law's soul, didn't do a very good job, or he's a really sucky student.
Well, no, Dad taught me how to parallel park, which he taught me this mathematical equation that I actually used to teach Stephen. It's but the rest of it, he sent me to driver's ed. I didn't. Everybody else went to driver's ed in high school because I see my friend. Hey, Jean. I remember that they all went to the driver's ed class at school at Broadneck Senior High School, but I didn't because my girlfriend drove me every place I needed to go. My girlfriend drove me around, so I didn't need my license until she broke my heart. And then I needed a license, and by that time I was already graduated from high school. And so
Gee, all in one
my
breath.
dad put me through. I went to a driver's ed school in Annapolis by this weird guy. We had this weird driver's ed teacher. He looked like a weirdo.
So not only does he have trouble driving, thank
So
God.
a weirdo taught me how to drive.
I'm not surprised. Thankfully, he's got his hearing issue resolved. But a funny story before he got his hearing issue resolved. I'm sure everybody's gone to HEB. Everybody shops at HEB, and HEB has those express lanes, 10 items or less.
Oh shit!
We were standing. The way our HEB works, it's the registers, and then you can walk. People walk past. It's the registers, and then there's a space where people are walking back and forth, and then it's the frozen food. So there's that gap.
And people stack up in line.
And so
there.
people stand up in line, but there's no really designated line. So HEB, if you're listening, designate a freaking line so that this does not happen. But it gets confusing because you're standing in line by the frozen fruit where it starts, and people are walking past to get to the other aisles. Well, some people will come and just like cut in front and go and start paying for their groceries when there's people standing in line in the frozen
They don't
food
realize
area.
they're in line.
But they don't also look. So we
They
stood.
don't freaking look.
We were standing in line, and there's people in the frozen food, and I looked at James, sorry, and Sean forgot something, and I said, "Well, go get it real quick." So I go and I start getting ready to pay, and Sean, I think it was coffee. Sean comes back and he gives it to me, and this elderly old man comes up to him and says, "There's a line." And Sean, this was before he
This is
got his
before
hearing aids.
I got my hearing aid. This is like a couple of years ago.
And so I'm looking at the guy and I'm trying to ring up because my thing is like, I want to hurry up, right? And Sean's like, "Excuse me?"
Excuse me?
And the guy comes up and he goes, "There's a line."
He's getting all pissed off.
And he's getting upset because he thinks Sean just cut.
And I'm like, I was in line,
And
but
he-
I can't understand what he's saying.
And he can't hear, so
And
he's...
so that's pissing the old guy off even more.
And so Sean was like, "Excuse
Excuse me?"
me?" And the guy was like, "There's a line. There's people
There's
in
a
line
line,
here.
man."
There's a line." And Sean's like,
Eh,
"Huh?"
eh.
He's like, I'm sorry, what?" So Sean's answer almost sounds like he's giving the guy two. And the guy was like, "There's a line, you know, there's people waiting here in line." And in the meantime, I'm just like,
There's going to be like an old guy fight at the HEB, like two old guys who just can't hear each other.
and the
What?
guy...
There's a line. What? There's a line. What?
And the guy's like, "There's a line, man. People are standing in line." And Sean's like, "What? Huh?" And I was like, "He's telling you there's a line." I finally say something. And Sean was like, "Oh, yeah, I know, man." And the guy looks even more pissed off. He's like, "Well, there's a line, you know. People are waiting to get in line. You just kind of got there." And Sean's like, "What?" He's like, "Huh? Okay." And so he kind of turns around, and I'm inside laughing because the guy thinks Sean's giving him attitude, but Sean is really...
I really just can't hear him.
couldn't
I'm
hear
just like,
him.
What? I'm sorry, dude. What?
And so the guy was getting really annoyed. He finally like goes back into the little front of the line and is under his breath cussing Sean out. And as we're leaving, Sean's like, "What was the guy telling me?" And I said, "He thought you cut, and he's telling you that you cut in line, and because you couldn't hear him, you kept asking him to repeat himself, which made it that much more funnier because the guy does not know Sean can't hear him." And so when Sean's like, "What? What?" The guy probably thought he was giving him an attitude. The guy was probably 60s, 70s. But it was one of those like, wow.
So now every time we're at the HEB, you're always like, "There's a line, man.
So-
There's a line."
So we'll say that
To
like,
each other.
"There's a line, Sean, there's a line." And then we kind of crack each other up about making fun of the situation, which, not the person, just the situation. But
Adventures at HEB.
who actually has really good music? You know who has really good music too? Thrift City.
Thrift City. Oh, I guess they do.
They have there's some places out there have really good music. I mean, if you have good music, I'll stay there longer and probably spend more money. So, just
Well, the
kinda
first time I
saying.
heard Green Day, like in the frozen food section at HEB, I realized that I wasn't young anymore. I'm not old, but I'm not young anymore.
I would think looking in the mirror.
When
would
you
make
hear
realize
when you
that.
hear the Red Hot Chili Peppers while you're picking up naan bread in the
Naan
bakery at the HEB, or you're making your way down the bathroom aisle to get some lavender scented Epsom salts because your back is killing you, and you freaking hear freaking Green Day. it's a little weird, man.
Thank you, Diana. I don't feel so bad now.
Why? What'd she say?
She has to sometimes rewash her husband's dishes too. Again,
We're a secret society. We're doing it on purpose to gauge your reactions.
anywho, nothing much going on this week. I'm on a break from school for 10 days, so I will be catching up on a lot of homework. Any recommendations on Christmas in July movies that I missed, I will greatly appreciate. Sean, you're not doing nothing but being a little happy housewife.
I'm making Mondo pasta tonight in the crock pot. I've been working on that all day. So there's that.
There's that. But anyway, nothing else going on. A bunch of shit going on in the world. A lot of crap going on in the world. A lot of two-faced lying hoes in the world.
Lying two-faced hoes.
Both political and not political.
Lying two-faced hoes. Yeah, it'll be a busy week
Yeah,
as far as the news and shit.
a lot of crap
Yeah.
going on. What my best advice to you is, don't pay attention to the crap, okay? Read, educate, make your opinion, and stick by it, by what you know and not what you think or what Billy Bob and Mary Jo Smith told you on Snapchat, TikTok, whatever is out there. And don't be a douche, you know? God, we can agree to disagree. I don't agree with everything Sean does,
But don't be douchey.
But don't be douchey.
Let's not be douchey.
You
We don't
know,
have to be douchey.
You don't have to be a douche. You don't have to agree on everything, but you don't have to be a shit because you don't. You know? But other than that,
That's about it, I guess.
yeah,
probably.
Sean cuts me off like he does usually. But other
What do you
than
mean
that,
by that?
other than that,
What do you mean I cut you off?
I will be.
I have no idea what you're
oh
talking
my-
about.
I will be in mid sentence, and he will think he's freaking
How
who.
dare you suggest that I cut you off? What?
You cut me off. I think he thinks he knows what I'm gonna say. So before I say something, he's either answering my question or he's finishing my statement. And sometimes he's not right, and that's even more infuriating. But anyway,
Makes your life interesting, baby. I make your life interesting. So anyway, I guess that's it. We're at 30 minutes.
we're at 35 minutes.
So have a great week.
Anyway, you guys, thank you for tuning in and listening to our very dull week. But I got an A.
You got an A. That was cool. That was very cool.
And then that's it.
All right.
Thank you guys.
See you next week.
Bye. Did you blow kisses? You're so dumb.